Hi, what's up? This is Your Queen, and today I'm going to show you another game of mine. And instead of just blabbering about the game, I was thinking I'm going to show you the computer analysis of the game, which is crazy. So in this game, I played black, um, and if you look at the analysis of the game, it clearly shows you that the white has had like an advantage almost throughout the game, which yeah, is something I could kind of feel during the game, was that I was not in a very strong position, but I definitely didn't think it would look like that. So let's go into the game and let's look at what happened. So mm the white opens with d4. So I decided to try something else that I have actually tried sometimes, which is trying to build a Vinzetto in here and then just see where it goes. Okay, so they're pushing the pawns down, and I'm building my Vinzetto. Now they take my Arch Nemesis into play, which is the knight. And I respond with knight as well, because you see that I'm currently threatening this pawn uh, in d4, and they have to do something about it because, you know, there's only the queen protecting it, and they take the knight out. Then I open my light bishop line, and now they're doing some kind of three pawn attack here. I don't know what this is called, but if you know, let me know. But I call it a three pawn attack now. Um, then I again challenge their knight because I don't know. They just make me nervous, okay? And they are now protecting the queen, so they cannot really move it. And now they are pushing this one pawn down to threaten my knight. But well, if we calculate right, um, if I hop to the center, they can't really eat it with the queen because of my sniper, and they can't really eat it with the knight either, because then I would eat their queen. So that's why I went to the center. And at this point, the situation is pretty even, although the white has a slight advantage. And now they protected the knight with the bishop, because they were getting nervous about this. Um, so yeah, my philosophy is that I can tell you the story behind that, why I love to do trades. But anyway, not today. This situation looks like a clear trade for me. Like, you could eat and they would eat, and then you just don't have this anymore. So that's what I did. I ate their knight. They eat back. I eat their bishop, threatening their queen, and they obviously eat with the queen, so they don't have to break their wall over there. Um, Now in this game, this structure started to become very frustrating for me, because it is very difficult to play against. You know, you see, um, I mean, I would have to break my line of pawns somehow, and they have their queen out and everything, so it was a little bit difficult for me. Now I moved my queen, but just slightly. You know this, she's not out in the open, she's just kind of peeking. She's in the castle. Mm, and they castled. And right now, I have to show you, the king's castle is just like firm castle over there, but it won't stay that way for the whole game. I will tell you. It's a small spoiler about that. Um, anyway, let's move forward. I know what you are probably thinking is what the hell is going on. Anyway, the white is now gaining a little bit of an advantage because of that move. But I was just again getting ready for trading queens, and they move away. And now the computer is saying that I should have gone there. But I think the reason why I didn't do it is because I really didn't want to close the bishop line. And now it says I did a mistake. Well, I was challenging the queen. I mean, because they can't really eat it now, and they would have to, well, move it away. Yeah, that's maybe why it's not so great, because they can just easily move it away. And now this is very, very important to notice that they are threatening my rook. So I closed that line because I'm not that blind. At least not yet. I have minus 4.75. So that's almost blind, but not quite. And I have contact lenses and so on. And now they were like pushing these pawns down, and this was something that started to concern me quite a lot. Like, I was already frustrated with this structure, and now they are just coming down with the pawns, so they are gaining advantage all the time when they're pushing this down. And that clearly was not the right answer for that, but I was trying to get ready for, you know, them pushing this down, and so I would so I could handle it somehow. Yeah, like I saw that in my dreams already. They would push that down, and I knew that I had to do something, and because, well, the next step is probably them pushing it even further down. But now I put the bishop back to this line because I was hoping that they would somehow plunder, and then I could put something to support this bishop, and then open this line, and the queen would be exposed, or they would need to move again. And now I was not really sure what they're building here, because yeah, even if they eat, I would eat. They wouldn't really win that. They couldn't eat with the queen, so I'm not sure what they're building over there. Oh, now this one song started to play in my head, like this Bob the Builder. Bob the Builder. Dee dee. Well, yeah, well, I did that because I could, and because I was hoping that then I would have the possibility to hop forward and do something. And now the computer is saying to push that down, and they didn't do it yet. They are putting more power to that file, but even the computer is confused. It's a question mark. That was an inaccuracy, okay? Because I don't know. I was just getting so nervous about this. Like this side, like how, like should I have a castle there? I don't know. That like the Bob the Builder in me said, just do it on the left side, please. Do it on the left side. But then they noticed that my knight is currently not protected that well, because if they eat, I eat, their queen gets inside my castle, which is not great. So the white is still having an advantage at this point because of this and this currently. So I had to do something, and I moved my knight away because then it would be protecting that square so they cannot come in, and I could also escape if they would push down, I could escape somewhere. And they did that, but the computer says that's a mistake actually. And probably because now I'm allowed to eat their bishop. And that's what my instinct said as well. Just eat it. Just trade the bishop and the knight while you can. um, and now the computer says something that I was not even thinking about. I think maybe briefly I was thinking, yeah, I could do this, but I didn't even realize, people, that I have a rook in there and I have a queen supporting that square. I don't know. So the computer keeps telling me to push that pawn forward, please, but I'm too blind. And I'm trying to, you know, build a situation where, because you see the queen and the rook are on the same line, so I was thinking like, my next move will be that, and then I will eat the rook. But I knew that they can do this, and so I knew that it's not a very strong attack, but you see that their advantage is now smaller, and now they attacked my queen, which I was like anticipating all the time. And instead of going there, I go to the wrong square, people. I mean, yeah, in this game it didn't really matter that much, but like, why did I go there? I don't have any lines to occupy now. I mean, that was not that great. And now they're just closing this, but the computer is saying that this is an inaccuracy again. And I really urged to push this pawn, and now they say this is an inaccuracy as well, and it's because of this move, right? Yeah, so they're pushing it down and just defending that. Um, and at this point, I was like getting nervous again. I was like, I don't like this, like these pawns coming down, and I would like challenge that because they are still on the same line and things like this. But now they're defending it with that one. But then I realized, you see the situation. So now if they would have not moved their king and I would have eaten, I would have been able to eat their queen because they cannot really eat with that. Right? At least they would have lost. Yeah, they would have lost this pawn. They could have moved their queen. But it would have been a very messy situation. So they noticed that and they took their king to safety. And I still went to eat that, which now opened this file. And because my king is also there, so I was kind of nervous about this because I knew that they are now going to put pressure on this file and I would have to defend my king like crazy. And so now I just tried to bring my queen closer to the action. And they're doing the same, like, luckily it's protected now. And I'm bringing my queen out of the way so I can bring my other rook there. And now they did exactly what I thought they would. They also wanted to control that file, and the computer is still saying like, we are on episode 6 already, please push that pawn. What it has been saying since episode 2, I guess, but I'm like, nope. And now it's telling the opponent to really eat that rook. Yeah, I was too scared to eat the rook, so I just wanted to put the rooks on top of each other. And this is a blunder. Oh yeah, I should have eaten that. And if they eat with the queen, I could have... Yeah. Well. Because now they have time to put their other rook also there. And this was getting very explosive, right? But I calculated actually that, if I eat, they eat, I eat, and they would have eaten with the queen, then I could have, won a pawn. But they were not that blind. So they just ate with the king, well, which now allows me to, well, check them. And the computer said that they should have gone that way, but they chose the wrong direction. Now they're again thinking, what am I doing as well? And see, like the white still has an advantage. But at this point, I didn't feel that weak. I felt like, I don't know, I'm going to build my attack and I don't know. But the computer is disagreeing with that. It's so good that I didn't see this actually. It's so good because I would have lost my momentum. Yeah, and that was a clear plunder. I was also thinking, like, it seemed like they didn't know where to put that knight, to be honest. It was just there, and they are probably hoping to get a better position. Um, but that was one of their mistakes that I think allowed me to win. Because now I can challenge that pawn, and they just pushed down. But now you see the situation is even now. So I ate, and they ate. And now it's actually telling me to go there with the bishop, and yeah, that could have been great. But instead I pushed the pawn forward. Ah, because you see, there's now a check line, that was my plan. And then the knight is there, so that was something I was thinking. And they tried to defend against that, but they actually plundered very badly because you see I have the structure in here, so I can check the king now. And so that was a horrible mistake. They were just thinking about this, but not that. And wait, what did the computer? Oh, okay. So, yeah, it can't really go anywhere else. So it went to the corner, and now this pawn is totally exposed, and so I can eat it. And then it says to put the king there, but instead they plunder again, and they use the queen to come between us. But you see, there is this square, and so when I check, their knight is now under attack, and this is where the opponent resigned after blunders. I don't know how many. What was there, like 3 blunders? Yeah. So that's why we had this total crash out in the analysis, is because of the blunders, the 3 blunders in the end. So I gained 6 points, and that's that. I hope you enjoyed this game. It shows you that the opponent can have a great advantage and you can still win, at least on this level. So feel free to leave any comments about this game if you want to, or ask me any questions. I would be happy to answer, and I thank you for your time.